Hello, everyone. How's it going? Today is Wednesday, October the 26th, and we have a pretty big schedule to look at today. Um, so let's get started. The Hawks are at the Pistons in the first game of the night. We see the Hawks favored by 7.5 points on the road. A pretty big number at first glance. The first thought that comes to my mind is a pretty inflated number. I had this estimated at minus 4.5, and over here we see a minus 7.5, a 3 point discrepancy in the lines. Um, okay, we have to find out the reason for this. Atlanta, as we all know, in their last game, um, lost at home to Charlotte. Uh, Hands down, poor performance, and just so far in the season, they might be 2-1 on the season, but they just watching them on the court, they just don't give you the impression of a team that's um, that in sync and ready to uh, have these kind of lines given to them by the books. This is strictly a line based on potential. They are getting a lot of love from the bookmakers, and yeah, that's it. The Pistons, they're on a back-to-back. Maybe if they had a day's rest, this line might have been a point and a half lower. I think this is also factored into this line. Plus, the fact that the Pistons have not been playing well. Um, it is tough to bet on the Pistons, but on the Hawks, excuse me. But according to my system, this line is way off, and I do believe that the public will be heading towards this plus 7.5. So we will be looking at the Hawks as a possible play um, tonight. Let's look at the next game. The next game we got Orlando at Cleveland. Orlando is coming off a loss to the Knicks. They are 0-4 on the season, have not won yet. Um, Before the game with the Knicks, they were competitive in all their games. They kind of let this one slide. They were competitive in the first half, but then it just they let it slip from them. Um, but yeah, they are playing with energy, and they're just not able to stick it out until the very end. The Cavs, on the other hand, uh, got back to their winning ways in their last game, um, and they have had a couple of nights rest, and the reason for this 8.5 um, is, in my opinion, according to my estimations, I had Cleveland favored by 10 over here, 8.5. That is kind of a lower line than I expected in this game, considering um, the level of these two teams. Let's check out the injury report, look at Darius Garland's status, and check if there's any new injuries for Orlando, nothing new. Jalen Suggs is still out. Um, Cleveland, Darius Garland, he's still not expected to play. So nothing really new here. Pinnacle, we also see an 8.5 line. Um, I do believe that Orlando and the plus 8 is something that I will be looking at closer to game time. I do believe that this 8.5, a lot of people will like to jump on this. Um, I did expect a double digit line on this one, and psychologically, I think this will play into people's minds, and they will be looking on the play on for a play on Cleveland. I will be looking at Orlando in this game. The next game we got Charlotte at the Knicks. The Knicks favored by 7. I had them at 7.5. A pretty accurate line. Charlotte got a big win in Atlanta, um, despite missing a few of their top players. Terry Rozier, Cody Martin, LaMelo Ball, and Miles Bridges that we talked about has not been with the team so far this year. Nice win. The Knicks um, got a nice win at home against the Magic. Um, Line looks pretty accurate. Don't see an edge there, so we'll leave this game alone. The next game, Brooklyn at Milwaukee. Milwaukee, I had them favored by 3.5. The books have them at -4. Let's check out Pinnacle, 3.5, half point, up and down. It's pretty much the same. Brooklyn played against Memphis the other night. Looked very bad, especially on the defensive end. Lots of one-on-one basketball on the offensive end. Just not a lot of chemistry. The team looks out of sorts. The Bucks, on the other hand, have been playing well. Um, and rightfully so, in my opinion, are favored by this -4. Let's check out the injury report. Markieff Morris uh, did not play at Memphis. Will not play again tonight. For the Bucks, nothing new. Same -4. I don't see an edge here. I will watch this game um, just because of the matchup. It's always entertaining to watch these two teams when they play. And if I see something during the course of the day or the at the half, uh, I'll uh, I'll reassess my thoughts on this. The next game we got Philly at Toronto. Philadelphia, I had them favored by 2.5 over here, -2. Obviously, so far in the season, um, the play, the quality of play that we've seen from both of these teams has been does not justify this line. This is strictly a line based on potential. It reminds me a lot of the Atlanta line that I talked about the first game. They're getting lines because of their potential, not because of their form or because of what they're doing right now. Uh, in my opinion, Philadelphia is the better team, but they have been struggling. Now they did win their last game. Can they build on that? It's still kind of tough to tell. What I will be looking at this game, I will be looking at this game though. Um, I will be following. I will be tracking actually the news about with Scotty Barnes. He is listed as questionable. If he is confirmed back in, and we don't see a significant move in Toronto's favor, a point and a half, a pick and move downwards, um, I will look at Philly. I will look at Philly. Barnes is an important player for the Raptors, so if he is confirmed in and the line does not move, I will be looking at Philly. If he does come in and the line moves, I will look at it again and make a decision later, closer towards game time. Uh, so yeah, that's Philly and Toronto. The next game, Indiana at Chicago. Chicago got a huge comeback win against the Celtics the other night. They were down by almost 20 points, I think, early in the half, and they ended up running away with the game by, I think, 20. It was a big win, maybe a 30, 40 point swing. Um, they stepped on the gas and just ran away with it. The Pacers, not playing well, but we they are one of the weakest teams in the Eastern Conference and in the league. Don't really expect much from them. Over here, the line is pretty accurate. 7.5 points. Pinnacle also at 7.5. If we check out the injury report, we see what do we got here? Indiana Miles Turner is questionable. He might make his debut tonight. Uh, we'll follow that. Chicago, nothing new. Nothing new on the injury report. So we'll check this one out a little later also. The next game, San Antonio at Minnesota. These teams played again the other night. Uh, San Antonio got their third straight win on the road. Surprise. They did catch Minnesota on the back end of a back-to-back. Uh, might have played a little bit of a role in Minnesota being sluggish that night. I had them. I have them tonight favored as I have them as a 10-point favorite. Over here they are at 9 - 9. The Spurs on the injury report, we see that Devin Vassell will be missing. They don't have much. They don't have any really high quality players on the team. Anyway, he is though one of them. So this is an important. This is going to be an important absence for the Spurs in this game. Minnesota, nothing new on their report. So -9. I just don't see an edge here either. It's tough to bet on the Spurs. Tough to bet against the Spurs. Now they are a bit on a roll, but we will wait and catch them when they drop down and start playing at the level that they should be. We'll just keep monitoring them for future uh, bets against them. They are definitely overachieving to start the season. The next game, Houston at Utah. Uh, Houston and Utah played against each other the other night in Houston. Houston caught Utah on back-to-back and squeezed out a W. One of the few W's that they're probably going to get this season. But they did play with a lot of energy, ran up and down. The young legs were a bit too much for Utah. Utah, after their good performances so far to start the season, they are starting to get a little bit of love from the books. 7.5 points. I had them at 6.5. Uh, it's an it's tough to bet on this. I'm gonna leave this game alone. Also, nothing really has really caught my eye on this game. Next game, Lakers at Denver. Denver 5.5 point favorite. I have them as a 6.5 point favorite, estimated. Uh, the Lakers we know have been trash. That's just the word that describes the Lakers right now. The way they've been playing, trash. They can't shoot. They can't play defense. They're just a mess. Denver, on the other hand, they are having a little bit of they are having some issues now early in the season to get Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray integrated back into the team and playing at the level that I expect them to play. It's still early in the season. It's gonna take them a little bit of time, few weeks, maybe a month, until they start really rolling. Um, on the injury report, let's take a look at the injury report. We got the Lakers. Russell Westbrook's going to be missing tonight. Now, a lot of people will think that's might benefit the Lakers. That's going to be good for them, and maybe they're right. Um, yeah, he hasn't played well, but personally, I don't believe that he is the one player that is to blame for the Lakers' misfortune so far early in the season. I just think this is a real. It's a toxic team. That's the best word that describes them. Toxic. It's just nothing there. It seems like LeBron is playing for stats. AD looks like he's got his mind elsewhere, like thinking that my contract's running out. I'm gonna get away from this. It's just nothing. This team just doesn't look happy playing basketball. Um, but yeah, there is a big difference between these two teams as far as quality goes, potential, pretty much in all categories. Now, the 5.5 is a little low. In my opinion, it is the Lakers. They do always get money. They also always get love from the public. Um, let's check out Denver's. Michael Porter Jr. is listed as questionable injury maintenance. He might not play. If he doesn't play, um, this is probably priced into this. I did expect this to be a little bit higher. The 5.5 probably has a Michael Porter Jr. absence priced in. So nothing really going on here. We'll see. The Lakers, I expect them to pull off wins when um, the public least expects it. And tonight might be one of those nights where the 5.5 might look a little easy in the minds of the public. We will see though. The next game, Miami at Portland. Miami favored by 2.5. I had Portland as a pick. Portland has started off the season really hot, 4-0. Uh, just playing exciting basketball. Lillard hasn't skipped a beat, came back from his injuries, playing very good basketball. Um, and yeah, the Heat haven't been performing at the level that I expect them to. They did lose their last game to the Raptors at home, and in general haven't really shown us the type of level that they got us used to watching them play last year, where they ended up first in the Eastern Conference. This line is off, in my opinion. I do expect the public money, to flow in on Portland, and this might be my best play of the night. Looking at Miami with 2.5 points. Uh, so yeah, let's go over quick. Let's do a quick recap of the games of interest and see if what we'll be looking at tonight. Atlanta, Detroit. We said we might be looking at the Hawks here at 7.5. With the according to my system, the 4.5 points that I had it estimated over here, we see a 3 point difference. I do expect the money to come in on Detroit. We'll look at Atlanta at 7.5. With Cleveland here, the 8.5. I think psychologically over here, a lot of people will look at a single-digit line that it might be easy on for Cleveland. I will be looking for Orlando to cover this line. So on the first two games, we got Atlanta and Orlando. The next game, Charlotte, New York, no interest. Brooklyn, Milwaukee, no interest. Philadelphia and Toronto. We're gonna check back on the status of Scotty Barnes and make a decision on this according to line movement once the news comes in. Next game, Indiana, Chicago, no play. San Antonio, Minnesota, no play. Houston, Utah, nothing there either. Lakers, Denver. As tough as it is to bet on the Lakers these days, this 5.5, I will be looking into this. Um, I will wait though for the Michael Porter Jr. confirmation whether he's in or out. I do believe he's out and it's already priced in, so I don't expect much movement from this 5.5. I might actually take a big risk and jump on the Lakers in this game. And on my best play of the night, I do see Miami as a good bet on this 2.5. Pinnacle also 2.5. I do believe that this will work on the public, and in their eyes, they will see a value on Portland. And as always, we go the opposite direction and take a shot here with the Heat. So yeah, that's it for tonight. If you guys like my analysis, hit the like button. Share this video with your friends. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and check the all section, the subscriptions. You get so you can get notified when my videos come up. I do these videos on a daily basis, and also check the description below to sign up to one of my chats or my channels to get my live alerts. Most of these are leans. It's still early in the day. I do like to wait for any last minute news or line movements before I make my decision. So these are all leans for now. Check back later for my final plays on one of my chats and my channels. Yeah, so that's it for today. Good luck, everyone, on whatever you decide to put your money on. Enjoy the games, and we'll be right back at it again tomorrow. See you.